Hello everybody, and in this video I will be reviewing The Yellow Sea that came out in 2010 and was directed by Na Hong-jin. And as always, this video will be completely spoiler free. But first, let's get to the plot synopsis. Struggling to pay a debt, a taxi driver takes a job of a hitman to kill a certain professor. But when unexpected events occur and things go unplanned, the ex-taxi driver Gu-nam has to run for his life, all while trying to discover the truth behind what's happened to him. The Yellow Sea is Na Hong-jin's second feature film, the first one being The Chaser, an incredible film that I've seen and reviewed on this channel. The link for that review will be in the bio of this video if you want to check it out. The third feature film that he's directed was The Wailing, a masterpiece. So it's easy to say that he is one of the strongest Korean directors working out there today, and his brilliant directorial abilities were on display in The Yellow Sea. There is not a single shot on this movie where the camera is just standing still. The camera is always a little shaky, which gives the movie the feel of authenticity, and it makes you feel like you're in the film watching the events happen from a corner close by. Another element that adds to this is the sound. For example, in one of the scenes in the beginning of the film where Gu-nam is approaching a person on the streets, the sound honestly made me feel like I was there. It almost makes you feel like you're the one who's holding the camera. It gives the audience the constant feeling of being an observer in the film. The movie consists of parts that are coherent. The first one being called The Taxi Driver, the second one The Murderer. You get it. The title obviously changes as the movie progresses. My favorite part of this film is the second part, The Murderer, because it has my favorite sequence in the entire film, the one where Gu-nam is planning the murder and then trying to attempt the murder. It is the sequence that I'm always going to remember first when I think about The Yellow Sea. That's how good it is. Those scenes were brilliant and perfectly directed, and here it was apparent that the movie knows when to utilize the soundtrack and when to utilize silence. Pretty much anyone can put a track over a scene to shift the audience's mood, but the usage of silence in a scene is more of a sophisticated thing. The murder attempt sequence starts off completely silent, which made my palms sweat out of nervousness, which is probably what exactly Gu-nam was feeling, and that puts us in his shoes. And then later on in the sequence, they add a soundtrack which perfectly worked. Na Hong-jin's previous film, The Chaser, was a tension-filled thriller, and The Yellow Sea once again demonstrates this director's ability to film the thriller genre right. There are quite a lot of chase scenes in this movie, and each one of them makes you sweat as you sit there hoping for our lead character Gu-nam to get away. Again, drawing parallels to The Chaser, the two lead positions are occupied by Jung-woo and Yoon-seok. Both give an excellent performance in this film, as does the entire cast. This is also kind of a depressing film. Our protagonist Gu-nam struggles the entire film. He's miserable from the beginning until the very end. And you honestly feel so bad for him, constantly running away, trying to get away from this mess. I guess towards the end of the film, it started to feel a bit dragged. I feel like the plot of this film could have been a tiny bit more concise, although I do understand because the plot of this film is quite complex. A lot of things are happening at the same time, and for the same reason, this is a movie where you should give 101% of your attention to the film. Because if you don't, you can get a little bit lost or confused. But when you give it all your attention and you see the truth unfold in front of your eyes, it's quite pleasing and quite rewarding. I've been comparing The Yellow Sea to The Chaser throughout this video. I mean, they're both thrillers directed by Na Hong-jin. And in my opinion, The Yellow Sea falls a bit short in comparison to The Chaser, which I consider to be a masterpiece. Overall, The Yellow Sea is another very strong thriller directed by Na Hong-jin, whose brilliant directorial abilities are on display throughout. And although not as brilliant as The Chaser or The Wailing, The Yellow Sea still shines as a very strong film. I'm going to give it 9 out of 10. So that is it for this video, guys. The Yellow Sea has been one of the most recommended films on this channel ever since I started this segment, and I see why. Na Hong-jin is just an amazing director. Each time I watch his movies. I understand that once again, and I can't wait to see his next project. Whatever it'll be, I am on board and I cannot wait to see it. As always, let me know in the comments below if you've seen the Yellow Sea. If you have, what do you think about it? And what is your favorite Na Hong-jin film out of the 3 feature films he's made? I'm curious. And I will have links for my entire playlist of South Korean movie reviews. Check it out if you're interested. And also links for my social medias, Instagram and Twitter, will be in the bio. I post stuff that I'm watching currently, just movie opinions and stuff, so check it out if you're interested. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you didn't, you can also leave a dislike. If you don't want to miss my other movie and TV show related videos, subscribe to this channel. Bye.